Well, the ball goes in, so if they don't deem that offensive foul, they could perhaps take the foul away.
Is she vertical from that angle? It's hard to tell. Look pretty straight up. There's a bump right there. I think you got to protect the shooter. I don't think this is going to be successful.
Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA as a rookie. She entered it as a problem. From the very first game, it was obvious this wasn't going to be a normal transition. The shots were deeper, the attention was louder, and the reactions from defenders, refs, and even the league itself were sharper than anything we'd seen in years. Because when a player arrives with this much gravity, the system doesn't adjust smoothly. It resists. Very quickly, Caitlin Clark became the most fouled rookie in WNBA history. Not because she was reckless, not because she was out of control, but because defenders had no other answer. They grabbed her. They bumped her off, felt important. And when that happens, defenders don't just guard harder. They guard differently. This is what happens when a player bends the geometry of the game. Caitlin's shooting range forces defenders to pick her up earlier than they're comfortable with. Her passing punishes double teams. Her confidence pulls help defenders out of position. And when skill breaks structure, physicality becomes the last lever teams can pull. Not to dominate her, but to remind her that this is a different league now. Fans asking, why did they let her get hit like that, aren't imagining things. There's a real pattern here. Throughout basketball history, every time a player changes how the game is played, officiating lags behind. The league has to decide, in real time, how much freedom to allow brilliance before it reshapes the product. And that delay, that hesitation, is where stars absorb punishment. The NBA went through this with Steph Curry. Defenders held him off ball constantly, grabbed his jersey, bumped him through screens. Not because he was soft, but because he was dangerous. Jordan went through it. LeBron went through it. When a player forces rule books to evolve, the early years are always the roughest. Caitlin Clark is in that phase right now. She's not just adapting to the WNBA. The WNBA is adapting to her. And that's uncomfortable for everyone involved. What makes Caitlin different, and why fans are so emotionally invested, is how she responded. She didn't complain every night. She didn't shy away from contact. She didn't change her game to be smaller. She did the opposite. She got stronger. Literally. That viral photo of her arms didn't break the internet because it was shocking. It broke the internet because it made sense. Fans saw it and thought, yeah, that tracks. Because they'd watched her get knocked down all season. They'd watched her fight through screens, absorb contact on drives, and still keep playing with joy. That muscle wasn't for aesthetics. It was armor. Caitlin herself admitted it. She wasn't lifting for social media. She wasn't lifting to silence critics. She was lifting to survive the league. Because once you become the face of something, you don't get eased in. You get tested. And she was tested constantly. By the numbers, Caitlin Clark drew over 4 fouls per game as a rookie. She was among the most fouled players in the entire league, not just among rookies. That tells you everything you need to know. Teams weren't treating her like a newcomer. They were treating her like a threat. And yet, through all that, she still broke record, 3-point record, multiple triple-doubles. Nights where she generated more total points through scoring and assists than some teams did collectively. That's not surviving. That's producing under pressure. This is why the conversation around Caitlin Clark isn't really about fouls. It's about respect. It's about how leagues handle stars when the spotlight gets but to future players. Stars aren't just talent. They're leverage. They're proof of concept. They're the reason casual fans turn into diehards. When fans watch Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Aya Wilson, Paige Buchers, they're not watching shortcuts. They're watching skill. They're watching work. They're watching imagination. And when that brilliance is met with unchecked physicality, it doesn't make the league tougher. It makes it smaller. There's a difference between physical defense and fearful defense. Physical defense is earned. Fearful defense grabs, holds, and hopes whistles stay quiet. One elevates the game. The other exposes insecurity. The best defenders in the world don't need to mug greatness. They slide. They anticipate. They read. They compete. And when a league rewards that kind of defense, everybody wins. Players, fans.
You teaming up with Caitlin Clark after competing against each other for so long. How cool has that been with Caitlin and the whole group?
Yeah, it's been cool. I think a lot of us, me and Caitlin, even played together like on the junior Olympic level when we were younger. And we were in high school, and it was always a fun time. And we were like we all played really well together. Like I still feel like we had like one of the best U16 or U17 teams to ever exist. And to see it all like come into fruition of us all living out our dreams and what we talked about and what we worked for, and to like get to the pros, and God willing, we all want to represent USA at the Olympic level. Like we feel like that's the highest level that we can represent ourselves in our country. So yeah, it's crazy because like everybody's pinned me and Caitlin against each other for the longest time, and we're cool, like we're friends. But again, it's respect of the competition, so we understand that. We understand how media works and how they want to pin two people against each other, and they're supposed to hate each other and blah blah blah. So we all understand that, and it's all in the love of the game. But at the same time, to have like two fan bases that really hate each other have to come together for a couple months would be really fun. And so everybody would just have to get along for a little bit.
To break down what's really happening in women's basketball, the psychology, the pressure, the moments that don't show up in the box score. If you care about players like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Paige Buchers, Aya Wilson, not just what they do, but why it matters,